May find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is the primary goal or purpose of Satanism?
Yeah, their purpose is to rule the world.
What was your purpose?
My purpose was to get all the power that I could and to get as high up as I could.
You have explained to us that there was human sacrifice that went on inside of the Satanic Church and inside of Satanic ritual. Can you tell us how this was done?
How did they murder people? All the children's posters that you see that are missing.
I was saying, I don't know the name, but there's like loads of shows or like cartoons and things where they put like a monster goes around eating everyone to consume the power. But even to this day, you either pour one for the dead homies or you put your friend in a spliff and smoke it.
How are you putting them in the bin? With what?
No, like if they've been cremated.
As in ashes. Oh,
yeah,
no, the way you said that. I said,
No, not like
Hey!
you am your best friend. I just mean put your friend in the zoo and that's you giving life to them. Just agreeing with what you were saying. It is still a thing.
Yeah.
I know, like it's classed as cannibalism, but at the same time with things like that, the spiritualism in it.
Well, to be honest, when we start talking some more, through research, these different tribes or information in these tribes come up, they all believed in different things. And in fact, what you'll see actually with that same tribe I'm talking about from New Guinea that were cannibals, apparently.
Yeah.
Not only did they eat people, even some of their own, as a sacrifice. They also did it to obviously have their power. They kept the skull and bones because they said they had mana in them, right? But you can see that all of these travelers and settlers, they took pieces from every tribe, and whether you realize it or not, that's what all of us have been doing. But what they did also is they mixed it with, let's just call it magic, but dark magic. Yeah. So they took all our practices and just made it evil.
Yeah, and then say we don't have any culture. Because now even when we look at those things, we question ourselves like, is this a good thing to do or not? And sometimes there's certain things that resonate with you, but because either society or people told you that it's bad, you don't fully tap into
accept it. Yeah. Because you know what's really mad? Like I said to you, I always had a knowing that something wasn't right. From whatever age I had a memory, I just thought something's just off, and I couldn't really prove it. I couldn't prove it. And obviously, a lot of information is being kept away from us. But now we're in the age of knowing. And to be honest, like I said to you, you should do your due diligence before chatting on something. But honest to God, after you've done your due diligence, you'll realise that all you had to do was go into Wikipedia and it's right there. These people are not hiding this stuff from you. I'm telling you right now.
And I've noticed over the years, like, how they try and seep the truth in, like, little by little, so that when we do come together and figure it all out, they can say, wow, it was there. Like, we did say.
Hi, it's Dana Marchowski. It is October the 9th, 2009, and I'm going to read you The Secret Covenant. I only have 10 minutes. It's on the Polly Hicks section of CanadaStreetNews.com. This is dedicated to the Jesuits, the High Freemasons, and the High Knights of Columbus, and those that have pledged a blood oath allegiance to the Luciferians, secret societies. The Secret Covenant. An illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive.
Well, it's like that lady that, I don't know if she's from those circles, but she said, I'm blowing the lid and I know I'm putting myself in danger. But she said, like, they have made us believe that we're so separate because it's all part of the plan. I mean, when you're aware, you know that. You just know, like, some of us can see that this whole race thing is a lie. When you start looking into all the experiments, the microbiology, the ethnology, the scientific research. Yes, we know about the genomes, and that when they say African, that can mean anything.
Yeah.
But it could just mean black in general, because they like to give us definitions, labels,
please,
and then switch and change it as they feel necessary, right? We know that. We know for sure. That's the truth. We have 9 genomes and everybody else has 6 or less. It's just a fact. But what I'm saying is, even if is not fair, I guess, to be truthful. Okay, if we believe that they did mess with the genes, which I told you when I started to go through that human thing, and it gives you all these different explanations. This is a human, which was like
color, the shade
was the Indonesian looking people. They were classed as the first humans, and then you keep going down the list. Just type it in Wikipedia, and you press on them. You're like, so they did mess with animals. They did. They call these scientists, like there'll be a picture of a scientist holding a monkey and petting it up and say this is his handler, and we did send him to the moon or wherever. And I'm like, they did mess with the genes. They did.
But you know what? Andrew Tate was saying something along the lines of, you see how the government does this whole ploy about race so that the poor stay poor and the rich stay rich. And he says, like, if you think about it, racism is just for poor people so they can argue at the bottom about who's more superior.
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
A rapper policewoman.
Well, you can be a white girl and be a rapper too.
No, I'm not going over this. I'm not going over this again. I want to be a black policewoman that raps.
A bunch of pigs in the mud. Or
he was saying, like, they wouldn't give the information that he knows as someone that's rich or a millionaire, whatever. Because if everybody woke up and was on the same level, there's more of us than them. He obviously doesn't speak on like the scientific side or like factual parts of it. He just knows from his perspective as someone who's had money or has money, and the government has now locked him off from having the social media platforms and even getting an Uber. The elite know how to remove you.
To be honest,
when you talk up.
You see, precisely. And for me, I don't know how people don't see that every time someone speaks the truth, they lock them off. Like, it's not rocket science. They've been doing this for so long.
Or demonise them.
They demonise them. So therefore, they must be speaking the truth then. Good evening. Hello, how is everyone? They are heavily censoring our channel. When we get thousands and thousands of views, they take them away. And we have been telling you this from day one.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. And we're totally okay with it because we do what we're supposed to do. Everybody's so fixated on numbers.
Yeah.
But you just got to carry on with what you're doing. And to be honest, for me, the more you try to censor the truth, is the more you expose it.
Exactly.
So censor us all you like, and everybody
it only
else.
Takes a few people anyway.
That's right. Spread it. Press the like buttons. Press it. Because the likes,
share.
The views are not representative of the likes and the likes. It's crazy.
I am not asking anybody to take a chance on me. I'm asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
I'm not just asking you to take a chance on me. I'm also asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
I haven't spent much of my life in politics, which most of you know, but I've spent enough time in Washington to know how much we need to change Washington.
I haven't spent a lot of time learning the ways of Washington, but I've been there long enough to know that the ways of Washington must change.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities, the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
So today, you've come in on the conversation. What I would like to say is we're extremely brainwashed and we're programmed in tribalism, and that prevents us from being able to accept or even hear the truth. And what I mean by that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm saying Jamaican and Cuban and American, Aboriginal, Indian, don't get me wrong, right? Because everybody needs to know where their place is and where they're from. But people take it to extremes. Okay, for instance, you got people out here talking about in your area code, where you from, where you from, man, where you from. This time, your mum ain't even paid the council tax.
Where this long?
You don't own the ends at all. You're just stupid. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You're out here.
When they send you to FEMA camps, what are you going to say? Oh, FEMA 1, FEMA... Please, just get it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Rubbish.
And, you know, at the end of the day, we can all have our issues with each other because, unfortunately, they have been orchestrated.
Love propaganda.
Yeah, we've been spoon-fed from birth, from conception. Our parents already having ideas, you know, we're going to call it front fartala sala because, you know, we're really important and it's going to sit in, you know. Well, when I got Marley that bugaboo with Matt, we were looking for a pusher. For me, it was about my back not hotting me because I hadn't been a new mom in nearly 12 years, right? Little did we know the pushchair that Matt said looked like a hospital trolley. Ended up getting. Yeah. But the mad thing about even that was then it became, when they gentrified the area when we were in London, it became the yuppies pram, bugaboo. Yeah. You know. So even that from the punch and I just got it because it was easier. I could flop it down one hand and but we're brainwashed these adverts where we go to school, the catchment areas, food, all of it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't want anything good for yourself, but all of these increment things create this facade of I'm better than you. Does that make sense? But the truth is you end up, listen, I saw my friend who was my neighbour taken out of her house in what looked like, you know, you put your suit in them suit travelling bags. And it hurt my heart. No, because I've never seen it. You know, obviously I've had Alicia die and she was close to me. That I'd never literally seen them come collect a body. And I was like, I stood outside because I'd gone out earlier and obviously she was sick and then she got better and she came out, thought I'm going to go and see her. Went to the doctors with your cousin, came back and thought, what's this commotion outside? And then her son had texted me saying she's gone. I was like, what do you mean gone where? So when I went outside and saw the bag lolloping, I was like, do you mean, I'd even said to him at the time, that's how they take you when you die, you just put you in the back of a van. It just, I don't know why it had me like that, but I just never seen it. And I said, you really don't mean nothing. You think you're so flipping special, but you then they dash you in the back of a van and, like I said, put me in a quick safe bag and dash me in the you know what I mean? Long thing, man. Buy me a Argos wardrobe with the magnet.
We're not doing this again.
Just dash me, put some sheet in there, dash 2 flowers in there, and roll me down in the ditch. Long thing, fam. Anywho, so what I'm trying to say to you is that we are we divide ourselves based on where we're from, what we eat, what your hair looks like, what your skin colour is, And if you recall the book that we read to you, An Inquiry into the Aboriginal Race of America, that is a clear example of the fact that colour is a complete farce, because the settlers and the travellers and the scientists and the voyagers and the whatever you want to call them, whatever they were doing, they said our colours range from swarthy black to practically, what did they call it, a tint of white with a tint of colour. Is that what they said? Tinted white?
Tinted.
Some sort.
Yeah.
And even so, we were all the same people. Now, one thing I've read in in my travels is that when they talk about when a lot of this trouble started in the, what would you say, 1400s area, they speak about the Gauls, and I know some people don't like to hear that that's their ancestors. You know, some people say all white people come from the Gauls, but when you search these maps and these different books, you'll see that I went on the channel and I've spoke about them before, and they say their tagline is, "What the F," not the swear word, "is wrong with our history," something like that. Audio something they're called. I'll find them. And they go through books live as well. And there was a book in the 1400s, and there's an African king sat on a throne, and loads of white people around, bare-chested, with some kind, it wasn't feathers, I'm not sure if it was feathers, but some kind of crowns all on their heads. And he said, it looks like they're worshipping the king. He said, so why are white people in Africa? Even he said that. He said, but we haven't been told. What? He said, they don't look like they're being held hostage. And then also when he went through this book, there was pictures of like a bird's eye view drawing of the area. And he said, why do these houses look like houses in London in Edwardian times in Africa? But there's a lot of our history that we're not being shown. And just to reiterate, the man is a white guy from Australia. So it's not Afrocentric. You know, and everything that we read to you is white people chatting. Because I just feel like
you won't listen.
People don't listen unless white man says it.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. So my point is, so with the Gauls now, with everything, first of all, everything's connected. You know, when people say, oh, it's, you know, this isn't about, the Bible's not about history. Listen, when you start clocking onto the history, yes, it is. It's about historical events. This version, it's about historical events. It's about...
Yes, I've been saying for the longest time, these movies and stuff, they're always dropping bombs in there, facts in there. But then, you know, they either say it's fictional, it's not based on true events.
That's
don't
what
take
they do.
anything seriously.
King James. And when I said to you, I'm wondering if James the Greater, James, Saint James, who went around killing all the indigenous people, was the same person. Yeah, it was. Yes, it is. It's the same person. Yes, it's the same. James the Great, James the Greater, James the First, James the Sixth. It's the same person. Yeah. So when you're saying you're patriotic, yeah. What are you patriotic to?
Or royalist.
Because if you know that he is the patron saint of Spain, and not just Spain, places in America too, there's a long list of countries that he's the patron saint of. Sorry, but it's the truth. Go and look it up for yourself. So once again, if you're saying you're patriotic, quite personally, I think you're saying you're racist.
Please. Most of them are.
But the twist to your patriotism is that, this is what I'm trying to say. When you hear Roman, it doesn't mean the person is white.
Yeah. To us now, but previously.
It depends which era, which year, who was reigning. This is what a lot of black, white people never don't understand. When you say, and we'll put some people up on the screen for you to read, and we'll pause it so that you can have a read for yourself. When you hear African king, they're not always black.
Please.
And I'll put one up for you to read again. When you hear Ethiopia or Ethiopia, like the Ethiopia that Herodotus talks about, there are books out here in the Library of Congress and other places where they debate whether Ethiopia is the Ethiopia of today. They're not actually entirely sure. When you hear Egypt,
exactly,
it might not be Egypt at all of today. You have to be asking what era, who, which, when, so you can be patriotic. And when you say...
But why are you patriotic too?
When you say King James, which one are you saying? Because there's some out here and the pictures are surfacing and they're very black. With the same hair that they give
Don't
to... with the same hair that they give to Charles. Same Bonnie Charles with the loads of hair. So all I'm saying is that you can be patriotic, but you might get a surprise and oh my God, it's black. Black! No! When you say Jerusalem, which Jerusalem?
Yeah. Big black beast.
Because I have, I don't know how I get this information, I tell you all the time.
Yeah.
How the heck did I end up here with straight info? Like, Jerusalem might not be where you think it is. I'm going to put more stuff up for you. Pause the video and read it. And also, we'll play you this song. So when you've been saying Jerusalem,
the hills of Satan, what was it?
Yeah, Satanic Hills.
Satanic Hills, please.
So when you're saying I'm Christian, yeah, no, not my Jesus. Oh,
I'm not repping.
Who have you been worshipping?
Yeah.
Because you think that we're dissing and we're not. We're just presenting you with the evidence and saying you need to check your thing again. You know.
No, but Mum, what did I say to you the other day when I was at that place and the guy had the tattoo? They're very brave. They don't care.
They're brazen. But then you've got to ask this though, because if we're just having the conversation that, okay, a white woman put up on LinkedIn, I don't know how long ago it was, well, I found it, my grandmother, the first black queen of England. And I said, she's very fair, but she got afro hair. You can see the hair is afro. And I said, she ain't the first. You just think she's the first.
So Queen Europa.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just think she's the first because you are programmed.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're researching, don't just research history. Research the arts. The painters. Right, I was looking up Queen Anne, and there's a picture of her which I put up, and she, if you look in the corner, you see a little black face.
So is the little black one.
That's her slave. Now,
but didn't they say that she adopted a black youth?
Well, if she did, and it was these times, they would have craped up that black youth from her and told her to go sit somewhere. Because if you read the book, The Masquerade of Darkness, and the follow-up, The Masquerade of Beauty, in short, what she did, if you read certain pages in this play that she did, she says, but basically she black-faced with all her friends. Yeah. Do you want to know why she did that? Because the point that she was trying to make was she trying to put in a play for her husband.
She's saying that.
He was James. Yeah, she's trying to keep his attention. And if you look at the pictures that they present of them, they look white-skinned.
Yeah.
But as I was saying about the Gauls and didn't finish, what historians have said about them is they said they had milky white skin. And them and the Turkish, I've forgotten the name that they used for them back then. It's just slipped my mind.
Albino.
They called them albinos. And also, they called them the Galatians. So when you're reading your Bible, what are you reading? I'm really trying to help you here to be free. Because I'm not saying that your creator doesn't exist, but I'm saying, come on, man. Come on.
Twist things.
So what I'm saying to you, what she did was, when you read the book, she blackfish. She dressed up there. Apparently they spent put it this way, they spent a third of their yearly royal money on her prancing around at weddings, you know, with your 14 or 13 brethren, you know, black facing. You made clothing, right?
But this is all because you were pissed because of the slaves.
To say that now
really
we are the fairest of them all, that basically having white skin. He says it in the play was the thing, and then she proceeds to try wash the black off her skin.
She's taking the piss.
And what she says,
but
what she says, she got shoved, fam. But here's what she said. She says, it's a whole piece, and I'm going to paraphrase, and she says, Oceanus's daughters, who I'm quite sure are black, they have to go and search Turkey, Spain, Italy. I think she even says Germany. Don't quote me. She says Greece for sure. And she says, go and try and find a black face there. Now you can't find any. So what she's saying is that there were black faces there, but we've shoved you all out or killed you off.
We've washed you out.
And that's what she's doing with her friends. Because really, but I put myself in her shoes, right? Put myself in her shoes, right?
But you don't.
If your husband is saying,
sorry,
he's going and doing all of this stuff, but then he's prepsing the black girl, then I'm taking one for the team. I'm just trying to wash out the race. I don't love her or nothing. Yeah.
No,
then you're trying to get your husband's attention, aren't you? By saying these same people are ugly. When you turn up to where they are, because a lot of these husbands were going away on voyages.
Yeah,
the wives didn't know where they were. So they're coming back with stories. Not just that, they're coming back with stories. I mean, probably even coming back with slave women to present to all the, like what they did with Sarah Bartman, and then gave her syphilis, and the rest of us had her in a cage, and even women were fiddling with her bits, and then took her body and put it in a museum naked. Yeah. Right?
Done that off.
But France, the language of love, my backside. That's what they were doing with Sarah Bartman, right? So what I'm saying, so if they come back with a look at these little pets, look at her hair, and they already found them, and they don't wear anything. So imagine your husband coming back and you they got their breasts out, and they're so nice, they're so welcoming. Yeah, perhaps they're a little bit, yeah, man. Now you see the back, bunda. Now, it's not alien for them to see black people, because a lot of interaction was going on in regards to playwriting and books. And I've got a guy that I put up, and his brethren, and this black brother here taught this white guy how to read certain languages. So it wasn't odd to see black people at all. In fact, those are the people that they threw off the throne. Whether you like it or not, that's what they did. That is why she's saying in her play, you can't find you no more, we rule. Now, white skin is the epitome of beauty, because clearly somebody was there before, weren't they? You understand what I'm saying? So once again, if you are patriotic, as far as I'm concerned, you're racist.
Yeah.
And even if you are patriotic, you don't even know which one of them was black and which one was white, because there's a lot of illegitimate stuff going on. So
then you won't claim the illegitimate children as well.
Right. But the point is, these royals were going around to other countries where people were going in them. Now, initially they weren't doing that, they were befriending them. Because you can't just come into these places where people are savages and take over.
So when
good luck with that.
It sounded like that was a choice. You do make these choices. You made the choice to befriend them or be friends with them and swallow what they were saying. They obviously gave you a deal that you thought was great.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, what did they do?
Well, a prime example of that is the Hawaiian king. How do I say his name again? Let me see how you say his name. Right. His name is Kamehameha. Kamehameha. And I put a picture. He's so blatantly black, isn't he? And there's a statue of him which is so blatantly black. So you're saying, so all of these, I am going to be provocative and push people's buttons, but you've got all of these so-called American Indians, which means you're mixed race, claiming that we weren't there, but Hawaii is part of America, and here is a black king.
Make it make sense. Look at all of them with their broad noses. I don't want to hear him.
So when I'm gonna, you know, my new name for them, the romantic Indian, because when you talk about them, so, you know, to have this as my heritage, and you're basically, what do you call it, cultural appropriating. Well, you know,
but it's like, what do you call it when you steal someone's identity?
Right. Well, that's what everybody did.
Yeah.
Right. So you're culturally appropriating and talking about how, you know, I'm so directly, you know, connected to these people. These are my ancestors. You know what? And we look up at the stars, and that's our ancestors. Let me tell you something. People like this white brother, I'm going to talk about in a minute, John Brown, are at the stars with your ancestors saying, look at these phony Indian here. Please. I should pour down rain upon them, yes, and drown them out. How can you say that we weren't there? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. So, what I'm trying to say is, one thing about this Bible in history, with the link to history, is that it exposes racism heavily. The links. Now, I've been saying to you, another place that people argue about is, where is Canaan? So much information. These white hillbillies are out here giving you the whole tea. Thebes, they said it's Illinois. Egypt, Chicago. Egypt again, Mississippi. No. Did we not show them this the last time we did the video? Put some information up for you. Actually, I'll read you something. How about that? Right. It might seem like we're going round the reeking, but you'll get it eventually. So, this is a piece from The Land of Milk and Honey. There's a Bible reference for you. So it's written by John Musgrave, and I'll say, go there yourself and read it. So, it says, junction of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers circa 1858. First sentence. Okay. Photo courtesy, the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library.
It always comes back to him, you know.
So when you're shouting, the Bible's about Africa, because there's this African woman shouting off her mouth, telling everybody, going on radio shows.
Confused.
So what I'm saying is, you're the left from there. But even then, you don't know where Jerusalem is. Like I said, which Jerusalem? You've been shouting about this Jerusalem, but it's not where you thought it was. And all the white people know where it is. Okay, then. So, it says, from Cahokia to New Canaan, our American ancestors saw the North American continent as the fabled land of milk and honey. The more religious, particularly the Puritans, saw the land as a place where they could grow a new society free of the evils and sin of the old world. Where's old world? Okay. Where were the Puritans from?
New World Order.
Anywho, so here they could build their new Jerusalem. So where's Jerusalem? Where's was it?
Old Jerusalem?
Where was it? Where was it? Huh?
America.
No, the old one. England. You've been sat in the devil's lair the whole time.
Babylon.
Was born there in Jerusalem.
I don't want to talk about it.
I was born in Jerusalem. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Here they could build their new Jerusalem, their city on the hill, and they did, or at least attempted to, with the settlement of Salem in the Plymouth colony. All these English names. Plymouth is trying, let me tell you. As Americans continued their ever-increasing westward expansion, they repeatedly found their lands of milk and honey, the new Canaan of their dreams, all of which brings up an interesting question. The biblical Canaan represented the land where the Israelites settled following their escape from captivity in Egypt. Which Egypt?
As in America?
No. They escaped their captivity.
From Africa.
Who were these people? Why they were in captivity? It doesn't necessarily mean it's Africa. So I'm saying to you, when they talk about Egypt, which Egypt, you've got to ask it.
That's what I'm saying.
America. No, because
rubbish.
Sorry, babes.
Please.
Sorry, babes. Anyway, so the biblical Canaan represented the land of where the Israelites settled following their escape from captivity in Egypt. So why did Southern Illinois' earliest settlers looking for their own Canaan instead name the region Egypt?
So that when you say Egypt, you think of Africa.
So wait, because you just said America. So, okay.
Southern Illinois.
So wait, so this is going to bring me back to the history of America, which we'll go into next. Because believe it or not, Europeans were flooding. It says 12 per second were coming into America. America was built on a certain date in the 1900s.
Now let me give you a little context. America had only been a country for 85 years when it went to war against itself. Why? Well, the reason can be boiled down to one word: slavery.
Really, people were there before.
I just don't understand how people don't get that.
Every single English person who classes themselves as white, you're not from there. And I will prove it with your own history. What I'm saying to you is, people were coming to America in droves. That's what my yaya, my white great-great-gran, was saying to my grandma. She said, we went to America to escape slavery. We were escaping slavery because where they were coming from, which was Russia, Italy, Germany, the posters are all there.
Austria and stuff.
All of that area, Turkey, there was famine there, and there was poverty there. And the whole thing with, and that's the next thing. So if my great-great-grandmother, my yaya, was a white, and she didn't say she was Jewish, she said she was a Jew, I think we need to consider that actually some of these white people were actually Jew, because she ended up in Jamaica marrying my grandfather. And then on my grandma's father's side, he had a white father as well. They say they took him to church, he had hearing aids and had blue eyes. It's the truth, that's the problem. All I'm saying is we need to consider the fact that these other white people hijacked their heritage and also posed as these people. Because I'm going to show you, not every white person was evil and not every black person was good.
Facts.
When you really start to go under the surface, you'll find that,
to this day.
So anyway, what I'm saying is, so the captivity could mean America, or they might mean Europe.
True.
Which one are they talking about? Because there were some that left parts of North America, and they travelled and went to New Jersey. They also call that the New Jerusalem. Do you remember when we watched, what's his name? The chat show host, American chat show, and those kids were saying all the black people need to get out of America.
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
You say you don't hate blacks. What do you feel about them and what do you want done with them?
When time comes, God will send them back to their homeland, Africa. I have nothing against them.
Why will God send them to Africa?
Because all the races will go back to their homeland.
Well, where do whites go? This used to belong to...
Whites stay here, New Jerusalem. America.
Excuse me, whites stay in New Jersey?
New Jerusalem. The United States, New Jerusalem.
Okay, but the Native Americans, which we used to call Indians, they were here first. We have to get out. No. So when are you leaving?
So they weren't lying. This is what they came to America and did. But what they don't recall, because this generation's gone on, you're not from there.
This is the thing that
you're not
I
from
said,
America.
Like, why do they never speak? I understand you got wars and things, and you get scared, and they try and teach us not to know our own history. But if you know in your, like, innately and in your family, this is our history, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Why are you not telling your offspring?
I don't know.
We're just going to keep doing this every 100 years.
But this is what they even said about, in American history, they said it got to a point where they stopped classing natives as, when they spoke of natives, they only spoke of people that were born there. So they stopped speaking about the people that came there. So this is why people who are white think they're from America. They think they're from there. All you need to do is go on Wikipedia and you'll find out you're not.
Bye.
Anywho. So the long and short of it is, it says, so why did Southern Illinois, earliest settlers looking for their own Canaan, instead name the region Egypt? The usual debate argues the presence of Egyptian place names such as Cairo and Thebes versus the story of central and northern Illinois.
That's America.
Yeah, so that's what he's representing, right? But what I didn't say is, what was his name? It was, let me see. Who did it? He's going actually. Do you know what? I'd say to you,
read the passages.
We'll put them all up now, like bang, bang, bang. Pause the video and read them. So I want to take up your old time. But what I'm trying to say to you is that the evidence is all there, and they called America Egypt. I've been telling you and telling you, but I know people just think I'm being a loudmouth, probably. So, anyway, on to the history of America.
Brought the glasses up. Oh my days.
I was born with an eye defect, and I wore a patch like a sailor. Yeah, I did. Anyway, welcome back. So, the conversation really is the truth about history and the fact that we're not that different, and we're interconnected, and the truth is in our face. And the truth
right in our faces.
And the people that seem as if they're baddies might actually be the goodies. And the so-called goodies might be the baddies. And the blacks were probably white. And the whites were probably black. And
discombobulation.